SOR, 40 years and beyond. John Paul Esplana, a seminarian from Romblon and part of the organizing committee for the 40th foundation anniversary of the School of Dialogue with Oriental Religions, or SOR, shares with New City his experience as well as his insights on the special course of formation on dynamics between faith, culture, and interreligious dialogue in Asia, which was held last May 20 to 22, 2022. John Paul, can you tell us briefly what characterized SOR's special course of formation this year?
On the occasion of its 40th anniversary, the School of Dialogue with Oriental Religions organized a 3-day course of formation from May 20 to 22, 2022 at the auditorium of the Mariapolis Center here in Tagaytay. Its theme for this year is Dynamics Between Faith, Culture, and Interreligious Dialogue in Asia. It was the first time the SOR has done a course in a hybrid format. Most of the participants, 79%, joined via Zoom, and 21% participated face-to-face. There were a total of 334 participants from the Philippines, Thailand, from Bangkok and Chiang Mai, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Pakistan, India, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, Korea, Australia, Oceania, and the Focolare Center of Interreligious Dialogue in Rome, Italy.
How was the SOR's theme, Dynamics Between Faith, Culture, and Interreligious Dialogue in Asia, developed during the 3-day school?
Although each day of the school was distinct from the others, I could say that it was also seamless because all the sessions were very integrated. The introductory session, for example, by Dr. Lolita Castillo, co-director of SOR, laid the foundation of the school by providing an insightful presentation of the history of the School of Dialogue with Oriental Religions. This was followed by an extensive presentation on the teachings of the Church on Interreligious Dialogue by Father Matteo Rebecchi, SX, an Italian Saverian priest. The opening remarks by Father Piero Coda via a video message brought to light 3 fundamental tasks of a school of dialogue. First, it is necessary to know Jesus because Jesus is the way of dialogue, the way of unity. Second, is to help one in knowing the other religions. And the third, learning how to dialogue.
Academic experts specialize in the field of interreligious dialogue, as well as the presence and guidance of church authority, have contributed to the success of this year's course of formation. What are the insights you got from what they have presented?
Indeed, experts in interreligious dialogue were present, each contributing to providing the participants with substantial knowledge in the endeavor of doing dialogue. Moreover, this year's special course of formation was graced by the presence of one of the leaders of the local church in the Philippines, Most Reverend Roberto Malyare, the Bishop of San Jose, Nueva Ecija, and the present Dean of SOR. In his opening remarks, he shared the great challenge of living out the unity among other religions and cultures due to the growing influence of individualism and materialism. And the key to facing this challenge can be addressed through synodality by journeying together, which is now becoming the path or process of the Church because of Pope Francis. SOR co-director Dr. Eddie Shue, with his expertise in the field of dialogue, presented the dynamics between faith and culture. He explained the importance of being aware that dialogue is part of our human nature and a calling from God. Dr. Xue emphasized one important point. We are called to dialogue. Dialogue is part of connecting or relating to others. However, due to the challenge of advanced technologies, people have become poor in their interpersonal communication. In the light of faith, he discussed the importance of going back to the communion of the Trinity as the model of dialogue.
Interreligious dialogue is an integral component in the continuing work of the Church's evangelization. How was this tackled by the speakers?
The Church exists to give witness to the gospel. This was emphasized during the session with Professor Roberto Catalano from the Sophian University Institute in Lupiano, near Florence, Italy. Professor Catalano underlined the importance of being open to others and being a witness to the gospel of Christ. A form of evangelization that was highlighted was enculturation. Father Jose Vidamoryu, a professor from the Divine Word Institute of Mission Studies, dealt lengthily with the enculturation of faith in Asia. He affirmed that the effort of making the gospel relevant is not mainly directed towards renewing local liturgical rites. In fact, he clearly stated that enculturation is not just about liturgy. It speaks about the local church. He also said that enculturation is a dynamic process or movement as an approach or as a result of an encounter between the gospel and culture. It is not an end in itself. It is a process that has to be done in a particular context or time. A very prominent church personality also joined the plenary, linked via Zoom, Monsignor Indonil J. Kudiduaku, K., Secretary of the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue in the Vatican, spoke about the untiring endeavor of the Church to foster universal fraternity on all fronts. He presented the recent developments in the teachings of the Church on interreligious dialogue and gave particular emphasis on the papacy of Pope Francis, which focuses on dialogue, fraternity, care for creation, and reconciliation.
Dialogue and communication are inseparable. What was offered to the participants to be successful in dialogue?
On the last day, Ms. Tita Puangco, former CEO of Anchila Enterprise Development Consulting, gave a talk on the usage of language in communication and dialogue. The session was filled not only with concepts, but with the concrete experiences of the speaker. She stressed the importance of being aware of and open to the culture of people of other religions, especially the way they think and communicate.
How does the spirituality of the Focolare movement enliven the very mission of SOR?
This was very much clear in the presentation by Dr. Lolita Castillo, co-director of SOR. She presented how much the mission of SOR in bringing ahead the work of interreligious dialogue is a concrete expression of the Focolare spirituality of unity. In her talk, she mentioned 5 principles emanating from the charism of unity of Chiara Lubick that have found a shared and enlightened understanding in the dialogue with different religions in Asia. They are God is love, the Word of God, Jesus in the midst, Jesus forsaken, and Mary.
As a seminarian, how do you see interreligious dialogue Now, what are the significant learnings you bring with you after SOR's special course this year?
I learned that this school is not all about studying books. It is a school of life. Life is all about building a relationship with God and neighbor. The SOR's mission helps me to form myself to be an agent of dialogue with people of different cultures, traditions, and religions, and to accept them with openness, sincerity, and fraternal charity. Challenges are always part of our journey. These challenges stimulate everyone to really live out the faith in the context of our culture and a relationship with other religions. This means that Christian faith is always active. Yes, dialogue with other religions is a long process, but we all must have commit ourselves, being agents of dialogue, to contribute to the realization of Jesus' prayer that all may be one.
Thank you very much, John Paul. Again, this is Romeo Vital from New City Press.